Soul Land 2 Episode 76. Huo Yuhao believes Ma Xiaoao is in the Holy Spirit cult. Nan Qiuqiu mistakenly thinks Huo Yuhao and Wang Dong are a couple. His image of Wang Dong as a male god instantly collapses. Previously on, Huo Yuhao single-handedly defeated the 7 members of the Earth Dragon sect. He successfully tricked Nan Qiuqiu into joining the Tang sect. As the elimination rounds continue, Huo Yuhao discovers that the Evil Soul Master Organization, the Holy Spirit Cult, has changed its name to the Holy Spirit Sect and is participating in the competition. On the competition stage stands a pale young man in black. After Huo Yuhao probes this person, he feels a sinister aura. There is no doubt that the opponent is an Evil Soul Master. And his opponent is a young man from the Heavenly Soul Academy of the Douling Empire. The young man is well-built, exuding a masculine aura. The match begins. The Evil Soul Master Youth emits a white light. Under the cover of the white light, his hands and eyes turn completely white. Both are Soul Kings. After several rounds of intense fighting, the Holy Spirit Sect Youth suddenly releases a cloud of purple smoke, enveloping his opponent. Huo Yuhao senses countless cries and shrieks coming from within the smoke. Then a purple skull flashes by. The next second, the Heavenly Soul Academy youth suddenly falls motionless. His eyes are vacant, his face pale. It's over, Huo Yuhao thinks to himself. The young man's soul has been devoured by the Evil Soul Master. Having devoured the soul of a Soul King, the Evil Soul Master youth feels refreshed. A hint of joy flashes in his cold eyes. Looking at the motionless, well-built youth, the referee immediately shouts, "Heavenly Soul Academy member, fallen." As soon as these words are spoken, the Heavenly Soul Academy members erupt in fury. They all stand up, glaring at the Holy Spirit Sect members. "How could you kill him?" the Heavenly Soul Academy team leader says angrily. A cold voice comes from the Holy Spirit Sect waiting area. A cold voice rings out, "People have died in previous matches. If you have the ability, you can kill our people too." Hearing this, the team leader is enraged. He says, "We're not fighting anymore. We forfeit. This is outright murder. Our Heavenly Soul Academy withdraws from this competition." On the main stage, Crown Prince Su Tianran frowns and says calmly, "National teacher, tell your people not to go too far." Su Tianran indicates that there will be other opportunities for the Holy Spirit cult to show their strength. The man in black beside him, upon hearing this, simply gives a perfunctory reply. The Holy Spirit Sect forces their opponent to withdraw after just one match, achieving a complete victory. They advance with a perfect score of 12 points. But their cruel methods also cause widespread discontent. Meanwhile, Huo Yuhao is stunned, his face full of disbelief. As if he has discovered something, Wang Dong asks, "Yuhao, what's wrong?" Huo Yuhao says dazedly, "Did you hear that voice just now?" It sounded like Sister's voice. Wang Dong is puzzled, then surprised. "You mean that was Sister Xiaodao's voice? That's impossible." Huo Yuhao says directly, "Nothing's impossible. After all, Ma Xiaodao's disappearance was related to Dai Hongchen. And the ones who attacked Shrek were a group of Evil Soul Masters." Huo Yuhao says that everything makes sense now. Ma Xiaodao and Tangya were both captured by the Holy Spirit cult. Saying this, Huo Yuhao clenches his fists excitedly. Unfortunately, the Holy Spirit cult is too powerful and he can't rescue them yet. The Holy Spirit Sect members prepare to leave. Huo Yuhao stares intently at the distinctly feminine figure. Like Tangya, the person's face is covered with a veil. Suddenly, Huo Yuhao's spiritual power vibrates, and he softly calls out, "Sister." This voice quietly appears in the woman's mind. The woman pauses for a moment, then walks away as if she hasn't heard anything. Seeing this, Huo Yuhao is slightly taken aback. This test didn't go as he expected. If it really were Ma Xiaodao, she would have reacted. Huo Yuhao and his group return to the Bright Moon Hotel. After dinner, Huo Yuhao looks at everyone and says, "Everyone, go back to your rooms and rest." Just as everyone gets up to leave, a disgruntled voice rings out, "Wait a minute. Where do I stay?" It's Nan Qiuqiu, who just joined the Tang sect. He looks annoyed, thinking that they actually forgot about him. Jin Zixuan hurriedly greets him with a smile and tells Nan Qiuqiu to share a room with him. The 10 members of the Tang sect were only allocated 5 rooms. Xiao Xiao shares with Jiang Nanan. Wang Donger shares with Hua Yuhao. Jin Zixuan was originally sharing with Nana. With the addition of Nan Qiuqiu, it becomes 3 people to a room. Nana looks aggrieved but doesn't say anything. Then Nan Qiuqiu exclaims in surprise, "What? You want me to share a bed?" Hearing Nan Qiuqiu's reluctance, Hua Yuhao suggests he can go back to his Earth Dragon sect room to rest. He can return to the Tang sect after the competition. Nan Qiuqiu rolls his eyes and says that the Earth Dragon sect has been eliminated by Hua Yuhao, so there are no rooms left for them. The others gloat. Then Su Sancher says, "Yuhao, you caused this trouble, so you solve it." Hua Yuhao immediately says that he can choose any of the 5 rooms. Either way, they will have to squeeze in. Nan Qiuqiu's eyes dart around, and he immediately says, "Then I'll share with you." Without waiting for Hua Yuhao to respond, he walks off. Hua Yuhao knows exactly what Nan Qiuqiu is thinking. He is attracted to Wang Donger's charm and wants to share a room with her. Wang Donger smiles and nods in agreement. Suddenly, Hua Yuhao says in exasperation, "No way. He can't share a room with us." With Nan Qiuqiu as a third wheel, he won't be able to spend time alone with Wang Donger. After the 3 arrive at the room, Nan Qiuqiu looks at Hua Yuhao's frustrated expression with a smug look on his face. Hua Yuhao grins, a mischievous smile returning to his face. He says, "Donger, carry me to bed. I'm a little tired." Wang Donger quickly bends down and picks him up. Just as she is about to walk towards the bed, Hua Yuhao suddenly says, "Wait a minute." Wang Donger looks at him with concern. Hua Yuhao looks at her affectionately and says, "Donger, I love you." Wang Donger is stunned for a moment, then whispers, "Me too." Hua Yuhao puts his right arm around Wang Donger's neck, lifts his head, kisses her, and then lets go. Wang Donger is used to Hua Yuhao's sneak attacks, but has forgotten that there's another person in the room. A piercing scream echoes throughout the entire Bright Moon Hotel. Wang Donger is also startled by the sound. Only then does she remember that she is disguised as a man. Nan Qiuqiu points at them in shock and stammers, You. Hua Yuhao, having already decided to tease him, says calmly, "There are many kinds of love in this world that you can't understand. Since you're not afraid to witness it, then watch carefully." Nan Qiuqiu points at Wang Donger, his voice trembling. He can't believe that his male god is actually gay. Wang Donger looks at Hua Yuhao, exasperated. Just as she is about to explain, Nan Qiuqiu disappears in a flash. The two look at each other and chuckle. As for Nan Qiuqiu's mental state afterwards, he sits as far away from them as possible during dinner, just quietly eating his food, now subdued. Jin Zixuan keeps giving Hua Yuhao and Wang Donger meaningful glances. Clearly, Jin Zixuan also enjoys stirring things up and doesn't tell Nan Qiuqiu Wang Donger's true identity as a woman. After the first elimination round, 84 teams remain. The first match of the second elimination round will be Shrek Academies. Moving from the bench area to the viewing platform, Hua Yuhao immediately spots the Sun Moon Imperial Soul Engineering Academy team. Although they try to hide it during the match, their soul tools don't lie. The second round is announced to begin on the main stage, Shrek vs. Heavenly Armor Sect. Since Wang Qiuer and the others are participating in this competition for the first time, in order to train and adapt to the pace of the competition, Wang Qiuer instructs her team members to win at least 1 or 2 matches before forfeiting, using battles to improve their strength and build confidence. This tactic makes Hua Yuhao's eyes light up. With almost no effort, Shrek easily wins both the individual and team matches. In the following match between Tang Sect and Iron Sword Sect, Hua Yuhao immediately puts Wang Qiuer's tactic to use. He has Su Sancher fight 2 matches, He Kaitu fight 2 matches, Xiao Xiao, Jiang Nanan, and Wang Donger each fight 1 match. This way, they can train without expending too much energy. Against a small, unknown sect like the Iron Sword Sect, the Tang Sect cuts through them like a hot knife through butter. They encounter no real resistance. As for the final team battle, Su Sancher, Jiang Nanan, and Xiao Xiao finish the fight. Hua Yuhao and Wang Dong'er don't even need to step in. The Tang sect successfully advances to the third elimination round. One more round, and they will be in the round-robin stage. After the match, Hua Yuhao tells Bei Bei about their victory. Bei Bei, still afflicted by the evil energy, hasn't recovered yet and can only slowly recuperate. Late at night, in Hua Yuhao's room, the spectral Nana is reporting to Hua Yuhao. Nana says, "Master, the situation isn't very good. I've contacted several black markets these past few days, and they're unwilling to sell us rare metals. The Tang sect isn't participating in the competition just to restore their prestige. They have another goal. They also want to secretly acquire rare metals from the Sun Moon Empire. In Hua Yuhao's view, war is inevitable, so they must prepare in advance and acquire strategic resources." Hearing that the black market is refusing to sell rare metals, Hua Yuhao frowns, thinking they are trying to inflate the price. But Nana explains that taking advantage of the Soul Fighting Championship, the three major black markets in Mingdu have organized an underground competition. The rare metals are being used as bets and prizes, so it's difficult for Hua Yuhao to buy them. Hua Yuhao is stunned. He remembers gambling being allowed during the competition. Why would they organize a separate competition and set up a gambling ring? Nana tells Hua Yuhao that Su Tian'an hates gambling. Whether officially or in the black market, gambling is prohibited. Otherwise, they will be raided by the empire. Then Nana says that the black market isn't holding a fighting competition, but a competition unique to Mingdu, a soul tool making competition. Any soul tool master under 30 can participate. Hearing this, Hua Yuhao's heart stirs. Nana explains the details of the competition. If Hua Yuhao wants to participate, he first needs to qualify by creating a rank 4 soul tool. This will grant him official entry into the competition. Bets can be placed on these matches, such as how many people will pass the qualifying round, or specific numbers. The odds vary depending on the type of bet, like odd or even. To increase the popularity of the Soul Tool Master Elite competition, they have even invited a rank 9 Soul Tool Master from the royal family to be the head judge. A rank 9 Soul Tool Master from the royal family will serve as the head judge. There are also 12 Soul Tool Masters of rank 7 and above forming a judging committee to ensure the fairness of the competition and gambling. Nana says the strategy has been quite successful. Over 100,000 people have participated in betting and gambling. Numerous commoners, nobles, and wealthy individuals are hoping to make a fortune. The competition rewards are large quantities of rare metals, which are more tempting than gold to Soul Tool Masters. The three black markets have divided the competition into 3 zones. Each zone will hold elimination rounds to determine a zone champion. Then the 3 zone champions will compete to determine the overall winner. Upon hearing this, Hua Yuhao immediately wants to take Hikaitu to participate. The Soul Tool Master competition takes place at night, so it doesn't conflict with the daytime Soul Fighting Championship. Half an hour later, Hua Yuhao, Hikaitu, Wang Dong'er, and Nana, after disguising themselves, set off under the cover of night towards Mingdu's city center. As the name suggests, the black market deals in goods and services prohibited above ground. There are 3 major powers in Mingdu's underground, the largest being the Shishui League, followed by the Pingfan League and the Aedu Chamber of Commerce. The Pingfan League controls Mingdu's red light district. The Aedu Chamber of Commerce specializes in assassinations and thievery. As for the Shishui League, they appear much more sophisticated. They traffic in weapons, drugs, and people. The Pingfan League and the Aedu Chamber of Commerce, feeling threatened, seem to be joining forces against the Shishui League. After considering his options, Hua Yuhao decides to participate in the Shishui League's competition. His reasoning is unknown. The Green Hotel, located 1 kilometer from the Bright Moon Hotel, is the venue for the Shishui League's preliminary competition. Hua Yuhao and his group arrive at the Green Hotel. At the entrance, 4 imposing men, over 2 meters tall, stand guard. Hua Yuhao, posing as a wealthy and influential young master, uses a combination of threats and promises with the staff and takes the hotel elevator down to the opulent underground world. The golden, circular hall is already packed with people. On the 30-meter diameter competition stage, many Soul Tool Masters are competing. Currently, there is half an hour left until the qualifying round ends. As the four walk towards the center of the stage, a middle-aged man suddenly blocks their path. He says that only contestants can enter and tells Hu Yuhao and his group to place their bets immediately. Hu Yuhao says he wants to bet on himself appearing. The middle-aged man replies indifferently, "There's no such bet. This is just the qualifying round. But your bets must be placed. Otherwise, you won't be able to participate." Hu Yuhao is taken aback. With less than half an hour left, the man assumes they won't be able to pass the qualifying round and still demands that they place bets. He is clearly trying to extort money from them. However, Hu Yuhao is currently playing the role of an arrogant young master. He smiles amiably and has Wang Donger and Nana place their bets. He warns the middle-aged man that if he causes him to lose money, he will pay with his life. The middle-aged man scoffs, "This is the Shishui League. If you have the ability, what's one worthless life like mine?" Hu Yuhao and Hikaitu quickly finish crafting their soul tools and successfully pass the qualifying round. The judge hands them 2 pure gold badges. The judge explains to Hu Yuhao and Hikaitu that the badges are proof of passing the qualifying round and can be used to claim their rewards. He tells them that the first elimination round is tomorrow. As Hikaitu pushes Hu Yuhao out, the sneering middle-aged man appears again. He looks at Hu Yuhao and says coldly, "Over so soon?" Hu Yuhao smiles and takes out his gold badge, asking the middle-aged man, "Where can I claim my reward?" The middle-aged man, who is just sneering, sees the badge and looks as if he has been choked. He shouts, "Impossible! You finished so quickly. You must have cheated." Hearing this, Hu Yuhao's expression turns cold. The judge, hearing the commotion, rushes over and says, "I apologize, honored guests. This is a misunderstanding. Wan Wang, apologize to our honored guests immediately." Wan Wang's face darkens. He snorts and turns to leave. But Hu Yuhao says to Wan Wang, "I guess I won't win my bet today. Remember what I said earlier?" Wan Wang's expression changes drastically. He asks, "How do you know you won't win?" Hu Yuhao smiles amiably and says that he can tell just by looking at Wan Wang's face. He also says that Wan Wang went to tamper with something. With that, Hu Yuhao swings his right hand towards Wan Wang. The judge hurriedly shouts, "Honored guest, no." He tries to intervene, but it's too late. A loud bang rings out. Wan Wang's head explodes. Blood and gore splatter everywhere. Hu Yuhao, the perpetrator, looks on with a hint of regret as if nothing has happened. He says that Wan Wang can now be a true king of kings in the other world. Hu Yuhao's public murder at the Shishui League's headquarters terrifies the onlookers. Numerous burly men immediately surround them. But what happens next shocks these men. Hu Yuhao says coldly, "Do you want to die?" He chants an obscure incantation, and Hikaitu takes a step forward. Hundreds of soul tool cannons are aimed at the surrounding crowd. A terrifying aura forces the Shishui League's thugs to retreat. Just then, a shout rings out. "What's going on here? What's going on?" Seeing Hikaita's cannons, the newcomer, Chinen, thinks to himself, even a rank 6 stationary soul cannon is no match for this. This newcomer is Chinen, a soul king. He is also the manager of the Shishui League's Mingdu headquarters. After hearing his subordinate's report, Chinen looks at Hu Yuhao and his expression changes drastically. He freezes. Hu Yuhao's eyes are filled with a deathly gray color. Chinen feels as if he is standing in a field of corpses, surrounded by the headless bodies of his men. He is submerged in a sea of blood. The headless men turn into zombies and attack everyone around them. Chinen snaps back to reality, terrified. He hears Hu Yuhao's voice in his head, "If you want this place to become a field of corpses, be my guest. Otherwise, you know what to do." At the same time, Hu Yuhao calmly says that Wan Wang questioned his bet and his provocation resulted in his death. Chan An's face turns pale. He says respectfully, "You are absolutely right, honored guest. Someone, drag his corpse out and feed it to the dogs." He dismisses the crowd and invites Hu Yuhao and Hikaitu to a private room. Chin An's eyes flicker. He asks in a low voice, "Honored guest, are you from?" Hu Yuhao snorts and says, "Don't ask what you shouldn't." Wan Wang's distorted soul suddenly appears as a writhing white shadow, struggling desperately. A purifying light shoots out, and Wan Wang vanishes into thin air. Chen En's face pales, and he trembles. Huo Yuhao looks at him and asks, "No more testing, right?" Chen En breaks out in a cold sweat and says, "So you truly are from the holy cult." Huo Yuhao warns Chen En to keep today's events a secret. After all, they're just here to make some money. If Chen En dares to leak anything, he will suffer the consequences. Before leaving, Huo Yuhao tells him to exchange all their winnings for rare metals. If Chen En handles this well, he will be rewarded handsomely. He might even become one of them. Chen En is overjoyed and kneels down, saying, "Thank you, Your Excellency." Back at the hotel, Hikaitu asks, "Little junior brother, what were you talking about?" Huo Yuhao explains that the trip wasn't wasted, saying that the Shishui League seems to be connected to the Holy Spirit cult. The fact that the Shishui League is named after Yi Shishui is what made him suspicious. He used simulated evil soul master abilities to test Chen En, and sure enough, Chen En was extremely respectful towards the Holy Spirit cult. Huo Yuhao suspects that the Shishui League might be a branch of the Holy Spirit cult, or perhaps even one and the same. Like, subscribe, and follow for more. Next episode, the Tang Sect versus the Sun Moon Imperial Soul Engineering Academy. How brutal will it be? They consecutively kill 3 opponents.